A little bit of a fun video today. We're going to go over the top social media sites for OnlyFans marketing, and I'm going to rank them 1 through 8 based on what I think are the best ones for promoting an OnlyFans. And I'm going to talk about a little bit of the benefits and the downsides of each channel and how I kind of see them and how they play overall into a successful OnlyFans creator. First, let's start by saying that you as a creator or agency should have your models on all 8 of these channels. They are essentially like the core fundamentals of marketing, right? Is social media, and missing out on any of these channels is really missing out on pretty much a huge audience or market of people that you could be tapping into. And a lot of times you can repurpose content that you have on one channel to just post it on another channel. So it's really easy to go to all 8 of these and then ensuring that you're reaching the most amount of audience that you can, even with just a small amount of content that you get from your creators, in case they tend to be, not so motivated or whatever it might be. If they give you a lot of content, then you can really maximize their exposure that way. So we're going to start with number 1. I think most people would probably agree with this, although there are some downsides to it. It's going to be Instagram. Instagram's the best simply just because I think as a society, we're all trained to see Instagram as a place where you look for models and look for girls or whatever it might be, or look as more like a dating app. A lot of people say these days, there's just so much that you can do with Instagram in terms of like posting photos, reels, stories. So there's so many different ways and channels within Instagram itself in that you can market your OnlyFans link or yourself as a creator and get branding and visibility. And really it all starts with Instagram at the end of the day. Because if you're going to be marketing on any other channels, typically the one that you want them to convert to, if it's not going to be your OnlyFans, it's going to be Instagram, because that's really going to be the highest leverage channel that you could have. And it aligns the best with OnlyFans in terms of like just how the platforms are set up. They're both pretty much built the same way. It's a really smart thing by OnlyFans to kind of see Instagram as the main channel for models or creators or whatever it might be, and then really just building their platform to seamlessly tie together the 2 channels. I think the plus things is what we talked about, being able to reach multiple people in different ways on the channel. There's a lot of people are trained to use the platform and then also convert to OnlyFans. It's like really a seamless conversion, especially if you use the link in bio service like Get All My Links, where you could put a deep link in the bio and it takes them off the platform and onto your OnlyFans page in a separate web browser, which is a really nice feature that most creators at this point should be utilizing. Things I don't really like about Instagram, or I wish that they would improve. It does take a while to get going on there. Typically, it's one of the harder channels to grow on, especially for somebody starting out with less than like 1,000 or 2,000 followers. You really have to post consistently for a longer period of time compared to other channels like perhaps like TikTok or like a Snapchat or something like that, where really your first video can go viral and can reach 100,000 people. On Instagram, that typically doesn't happen. Typically, you need to stick with it for at least 2 to 3 months to get any kind of visibility or traction that is meaningful on there. But again, then that ties back to the positive sides of like, okay, if you do build a good asset there, then typically long-term, it's going to be your best performing channel. Overall, yeah, I think Instagram is the clear winner for number 1. I would love to see if there's anybody else who like disagrees. And maybe you can let me know in the comments below why that is. And if there is another channel that you see as being number 1, then feel free to share. Number 2, I think this is where a lot of opinions will start to vary and people will have their various methods or ideas behind this. But for us, and for me personally, I would say number 2 is Reddit, simply because with Reddit, you can launch pretty much any creator if you have 10 photos essentially, and then just begin getting traffic and subscribers right away just by posting in the correct subreddits. So I would say number 2 is Reddit, just simply because 1, the platform, although yeah, you have to jump through some hoops sometimes in terms of getting accounts banned or shadow banned or whatever it might be. But if you really do know what you're doing on the platform, you can really make money from day 1 with Reddit. And it's really simple because all the audiences are already built into subreddits. All you do is create a profile, get some content, put the link in the bio of the Reddit account, start posting in subreddits, and boom, you start making money. And of course, there's a lot of virality potential on Reddit as well in terms of being able to, usually post in big subreddits right away, or if you've warmed up your account for a period of a few weeks or a few months, then you can reach audiences of millions and millions of people in different subreddits. And typically the platform is very NSFW friendly. So, posting whatever you might do to promote your OnlyFans usually isn't going to get you in trouble. And then of course there's the added benefit of like, you can build a subreddit for yourself or like a big profile. And if you do a really good job building that up, then even just posting to your own profile or your own subreddits is going to bring in a lot of subscribers on an ongoing basis for you as you continue to post every single day on Reddit. Number 3, things are starting to get a little bit more difficult. I would say these channels all have more ups and downs, but for me, number 3 is still going to be TikTok, which I think a lot of people would be surprised by this. I know a lot of agencies have dropped TikTok completely. I know a lot of creators have given up TikTok completely. And I'm here to say that TikTok is still very much alive and well if you know what you're doing. And the reason for that is that TikTok, other than Reddit, is pretty much the only other channel that you can post on and get subscribers from day one, right? So if you open up a new TikTok account, you create the right content and you create the right videos, you can hit 100,000 views within your first couple videos. And if you have the conversion point set up correctly so that people can find your OnlyFans easily, then you will get more followers on Instagram and you'll get subscribers to your OnlyFans right away, which really makes the platform still a great tool in terms of, getting creators onboarded successfully and getting them earning quickly. And then also long-term building up an account that can bring in lots of views and lots of subscribers for you. All right, so TikTok for me is number 3 currently. I know a lot of people would probably disagree or maybe ask questions about that. Feel free to ask in the comments and I'll try to get back to you. The downsides of TikTok is that, one, it used to be accounts get banned really easily on there, but I've actually found that in the last year, that's not the case anymore. As long as you're following the rules of the platform, typically you're going to be able to build accounts on there now that aren't going to get banned. I don't think we've had an account get banned on TikTok for quite some time. I don't want to jinx it or say, but it's been at least 6 months since I would say we've had an account ban. So that's definitely good for branding and long-term success of an OnlyFans creator, is if you can create one account and just keep it going for a long time, build up the followers, and of course, build up the average number of views that you're getting on a monthly basis with the TikTok account. The second one I would say is just the issues that we're having right now with Instagram and the button not really working anymore in terms of going from TikTok to Instagram. The reason why TikTok was so powerful in the past was that you could link your Instagram account to it and build your Instagram account fairly quickly using TikTok. But now it seems like TikTok is having an issue for the past few months with that linkage. Whether that's on purpose or not is up for debate. I believe it kind of is. I think they're trying to keep more people on TikTok and now see themselves as one of the power 4 social media or power 5 social media platforms. So they don't really see themselves as needing to send traffic to Instagram anymore. So I think they're kind of just letting that be as it is. And they're totally right. It is a power 5 social media, I would say for sure. I have it ranked as number 3 in this video for OnlyFans creators. So the way you got to get around that is you just got to be kind of creative, whether you put some kind of custom link in bio or you just type in your IG username in the bio and then just have people go search up your Instagram and then find your OnlyFans link that way. And then we're also exploring other ways right now in which we can get people off of TikTok and to OnlyFans. But the thing that is working best for me right now is just simply getting the IG URL, putting it in the website URL section and having people click on it that way and then go to Instagram within TikTok's mobile browser or in-app browser, whatever you want to call it, or just being able to copy paste the link and then put it in their own browser. So number 4, lots of options here. I would say 4 and 5 are pretty much tied, but I'm going to go with 4 as being Twitter or X. And the reason for that is that Twitter or X, it's really slow to build up. It takes a lot of time to grow a substantial following on there. I would say even longer than Instagram potentially. But some upsides with X is that, one, of course, the conversion is very seamless, typically from Twitter to OnlyFans. You can't get the deep link in Twitter like you can on Instagram, so it gives some negative points to Twitter in that way. But typically you're able to put a bio or a website link in your bio, and everyone can kind of know and tell from your Twitter account based on what you're posting that you have an OnlyFans, and people can go to OnlyFans, subscribe in the in-app browser and Twitter. Other things I like about Twitter is that the reach on the platform, once you do grow a good following, is typically very rewarding. So to give you a scenario here, if you have an Instagram account with 50K followers and you have a Twitter account with 50K followers, assuming your branding and niche is on point, usually the Twitter account will actually get more reach, in my opinion. Reason for that is maybe on Instagram, if you put out one post every single day, you might average between 5 to 10K views. Some videos may go viral. You never know, kind of depends on the month. So I'm not going to say this is a cut and dry thing, but on average, I think on Twitter, if you have 50K followers, you might hit 10 to 20K views on average with your posts, whereas Instagram would be 5 to 10K. So that's an upside of Twitter. Does it have as much virality potential as Instagram? Probably not, just because there's less users overall on the platform. But from a long-term perspective and a consistency perspective, I think that Twitter offers some value there in terms of if you have a large account and been able to grind it out for 6 months to a year and really build up a substantial following on there. Downsides of Twitter is, I would say, the shadow bans if you are going with the organic method, which is what our agency does. If you get a shadow ban on your Twitter account, that can really cook your reach, and essentially your account becomes labeled as an NSFW account. And once that happens, I have not found a solution up to this point, and order to be able to revert that back to an SFW account. We on our team have our strategies and ways in which we're able to prevent that. It's not a 100% foolproof thing. The best way to do that and keep your account SFW and make sure that you get a lot of really great reach on your posts is just, of course, to be selective with the content that you're posting. In addition to, turning some settings and changing some settings that you can do in the Twitter account, like marking your own posts as NSFW or whatever it might be, to ensure the longevity and safety of your account so that it can bring you subscribers for a substantial amount of time over the long run. Let's go with number 5. I would say at this one is going to be Threads. So Threads is simply just like Twitter in the same way. I don't think it has as much virality potential as Twitter, but essentially they're built the same way, and you can just post the same content that you're posting on Instagram to Threads. So it's a really seamless and easy thing to integrate, and I believe everybody is promoting an OnlyFans account on Instagram should be promoting on Threads too. It's super easy. You just click one button, boom, you have an account, and all your followers from Instagram are ported over to Threads. Very simple, very straightforward. There's not much to say about Threads. We haven't really had that many issues with it. Just be careful with the content you're posting on there. What you wouldn't post on Instagram, don't post it on Threads, and you should be able to essentially double your reach on Instagram by just setting up a Threads account and porting it over so that your followers are following you on Threads as well. Number 6 is going to be Facebook. I think a lot of people believe that there's a gold mine here, and I would agree with them. What I found in our experience with Facebook is that it's really easy to go viral on there. If you post reels the correct way, if you post photos, whether you set up a Facebook page or a Facebook profile, both can work really well. The insights and the data that you can get from a Facebook page and a Facebook profile are really good these days. There's a lot that you can learn from looking at that, even more so than maybe you would learn from an Instagram or a Twitter account. And of course, another upside is that I think it's easier to go viral on Facebook than it is on Instagram or Twitter, for example. The downside with Facebook is that even if you're going organic SFW method, pages and profiles on Facebook tend to get banned or their recommendations suspended easily. Basically, on a Facebook page or a Facebook profile, there's a section called account status, similar to Instagram. The thing that's nice about Instagram is that if you get a post flag, typically you can remove it. Well, Facebook has the same thing, but what Facebook does is after a certain point, or if they find something they really don't like, they will axe your account essentially and suspend you from recommendations. And from what I know so far, this is pretty much a permanent suspension and has not been fixable up to the point that we've been working on Facebook so far. So that's a big bummer. Typically on Instagram, if you get content removed or whatever, and you get your recommendation status suspended, you can either A, fix it through account status and just remove the content and then you'll go green again, or B, you just wait for a certain amount of time and your account recommendation status can be restored if it's not something that you're able to fix manually. We've had accounts that got shadow banned on Instagram, so to speak, because of the content removal section. And then eventually after a period of time, Instagram forgives you and they allow you to get your account back in recommendations. So you can really build a long-term account that way. And then C, of course, I don't really do this, but there are unbanned services out there for Instagram. But on Facebook, contrary to Instagram, which I'm still struggling to understand why they did it this way, they have the same setup, and then you can remove the posts that get flagged. But if you get too many of those strikes, essentially, where they kind of remove your content on their own and they suspend your recommendations, there doesn't seem to be a way to revert that or even just wait it out for your recommendations to come back. Pretty much once the page is cooked, it's done. So Facebook is very much at this point for us a churn and burn type of platform. We're using it the same way we use Instagram, just posting everything on there that we possibly can. But then just know that in the future, there is a possibility that your Facebook profile or page will get recommendations suspended. And at that point, you can't get any organic reach, which is really a big deal for OnlyFans creators who need to constantly bring in new audience and new fans. Of course, if you have a really large Facebook page or profile, you can still post to your followers. But the idea here is to build a large account and being able to post to your followers while also reaching new audience. So that's why Facebook is at number 6 for me, simply because of that. If they fix that and there's some way to remove recommendation suspensions in the future, then I do believe Facebook would jump up very highly into either number maybe 3 or even possibly 2, just because I still see Facebook as a really underutilized platform. There's the largest user base in the world on there for a social media site, and there's a lot of older generation type of men on there who are looking for the type of product or service that we essentially are marketing with OnlyFans creators. Number 7, Snapchat. Most agencies are not utilizing Snapchat. Most creators are not using Snapchat. Typically what I've seen with Snapchat is only the amateurs are utilizing it. You know, they're just like adding people here and there, and then they're trying to sell content via Snap. I'm saying to definitely not do that. Snapchat is one of the strictest platforms in terms of selling content that I've seen. I know people are getting away with it, but if you want to build an account at scale, that's going to be able to drive, $20,000-$30,000 a month in subscribers from Snapchat alone. You're going to need a big account. You're going to need an account to be safely built. And right now, at this point, from what I've seen, Snapchat is one of the best platforms to go viral on. There's multiple channels that you can do it on. You can do it via spotlights, and you can do it via public stories on Snapchat. So both of those are really good resources from the channel that you can use to really grow an OnlyFans creator and her branding. In a lot of cases that we've seen, we've started creators on all the channels, and Snapchat is actually the first one to pop off. And I think it's simply because there's a lot of users on there, but it's underutilized and a lot of people don't know how to use it. So problem with Snapchat is a couple things. One, you cannot add a link in the bio on Snapchat. They've taken away this ability recently. Even if you have like a public profile set up, to add a link in the bio, you need to have what is called a Snapchat star, which is basically like their celebrity verified version of an account. It's not available to everybody. You need to hit certain metrics and criterias to get that. I'm not going to go into all that right now. And the requirements are pretty strict. I think there's like 50,000 followers that you need and a few other things that you need to hit. And then we'll make sure to put a link in the comments below of what the Snapchat star requirements are at this point. You can put like a beacons link in like a Snapchat story and post on there and have people convert. Problem with this is that yes, you'll get conversions, but it does risk your account. So kind of up to you what you want to do. If you want to extract subscribers from your audience and you're okay with maybe the account getting banned, then go ahead and do that. But if you want to try to keep the account as safe as possible, we recommend putting no links to anything in your Snapchat stories and just writing in the description of your profile where people who find you on Snapchat should go. Well, overall, I think it's a channel everybody should be using. And the last one, number 8, it's going to be YouTube. Now, I think a lot of people, when they think of YouTube, they think of long form videos like this, the one you're watching right now. And typically, it's not the easiest content to create for models or creators because YouTube videos, they require different specs, right? It's a horizontal instead of vertical, and the vertical ones can be distributed pretty much on any social media platform. So YouTube would be number 8, simply because I think most people think of it in that way. But you can also use YouTube Shorts, and those have been really effective for us as well. Just taking simply what we put on Instagram and all the other channels and putting them on YouTube Shorts. The problems I found with YouTube is typically it's slow to grow, and also I don't feel like the algorithm just finds the correct audience as well as some of the other social media platforms do. I think simply because YouTube is owned by Google, and Google is more of a search engine type of company rather than a social media company. So I just feel like their algorithm isn't as in tuned with their user base as much as like an Instagram or a Facebook or TikTok is. But overall, it's still a really good channel. It's slow to grow, but if you stick with it consistently, you can build up a decent subscriber base on there. Usually, if you're posting the correct type of content and you know what type of content works well on YouTube, then you can build up a large subscriber base on there and get consistent views constantly after you've stuck with it for at least a few months. So I really like YouTube in the sense that once you have a good account on there and you have the right type of content that you can apply on there via YouTube Shorts, they go to the YouTube account and then they just click the link in the bio and it takes them to where they need to go. So I would say YouTube is definitely, it's number 8 on this list, but I wouldn't leave it out of anybody's marketing strategy for promoting an OnlyFans account. So those are the top 8 social medias that I would use and start today if I was trying to start an OnlyFans account as a creator and be successful. I would make sure to use all 8 of them, and I would go in that order in terms of setting them up and making sure that I have content for all the profiles. I think that's going to be it for this video. If you have any questions about how to promote on any of these channels, or if you have a different opinion on which of these channels are the best, we'll put up the rankings here again. And I would love to know in the comments below if you're a successful OnlyFans creator or agency, what you see as your top 8 and rank them, and then we can have a discussion in the comments. Of course, if you are an OnlyFans creator, you're looking to get to the next level in terms of earning and lifestyle and freedom that you can get from OnlyFans, feel free to reach out to me. I'll put a link in the description below of where you can contact us. All right, thank you.